Shady McCoy just wants to go home. He just wants to go home. And Zach Ertz, he ain't ever leaving. Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here. So today we have come with the hell is that? It's a big ass dog. Dallas still stinks. Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat here. You know, I find it so funny that us Philly fans, we take so much crap. We get so much crap from the national media, from the fan bases. They're always telling us how horrible we are. Your people are so mean. You're the most evil people in the world. You sit there and I was there and there was these Philly fans and they double moonwalked my ass. Then they double moonwalked my sister's ass. Then they double moonwalked my grandmother's ass. And we're the worst people in the world. And the media always says, oh, they threw snowballs at Santa. It's always the same old crap, right? You think nobody would want to come to Philly. Nobody would want to play in Philly. They would just stay away. Yet, every player that comes to Philly, every player that spends time with the Eagles or any of these other teams, they always talk about how much they love it. They cannot wait to come back. And when they do get a chance to come back, they fly, they run, they can't wait. They couldn't get to Philly fast enough. And a perfect example of that is Lesean Jackson last year. Lesean Jackson couldn't wait to get back to Philly. And this isn't the first time. This happens all the time. You know, you can name after name after name. You could rattle off of people coming back. Like Mark Recchi came back. Allen Iverson comes back. Lesean Jackson. Now we have this year, we have Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy is positioning himself. He is trying to get back to the Eagles. Oh, and by the way, Zach Ertz, too, at the end of the year, he's talking about how he doesn't want to go anywhere else. He wants to retire as an Eagle. People don't want to leave. We're not that bad. We're actually the best fan base in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And, players wanting to play for us, it proves it, okay? I mean, Shady is dying to come home. He's dying to come home. Now, him and Lesean Jackson, they were talking to each other on Instagram, and Shady was like, I want to come home. It's time to come home. And Lesean was like recruiting him and all these things. And I just think it's so wonderful that these guys love playing in Philly. They can't wait to come back, It's the truth. Philly is a great, great place to play, okay? Now, as far as Shady McCoy, as far as he goes coming back to Philly, look, I love Shady McCoy. I think the world of Shady McCoy. He was a fantastic running back. And under certain conditions, I would bring him back. But here's the thing. The Eagles really need a short yardage back, a bruiser, a big physical back that could get the third and shorts, can convert those kind of, down and distances like short, 3rd and 1. You need a couple yards to get a first down to seal the game. They need that kind of guy, goal line back. They need that guy. They had it in Jordan Howard, and he left. He went to Miami. He signed I think it was a 2-year, $10 million contract. I think the Eagles could have afforded it, should have afforded it, and it would, I don't know. I would have liked to bring him back. I have a feeling that something happened. There was a fallout with the Eagles and Howard. I think after the bye week, right? Remember, we play the bye week. Before bye week, we play the Bears. He gets hurt. He has a stinger. He comes out of the bye week and doesn't play. I've never seen a team go into a bye week and come out of that bye week more hurt than when they went in. And that's what happened with the Eagles. And he didn't play for 7 weeks. And I don't think that went over too well with the Eagles. It was over like a stinger, okay? So he goes to Miami. And now there's kind of a void. You got Miles Sanders, you got Boston Scott, you got Elijah Holyfield, who I really like, but we don't know much about him. We know he's the son of the former heavyweight champion of the world, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield. So it's his son. From what I've seen of him in college and things like that, he looks good. He looks powerful. And we're going to see what he can do when he plays. But we really don't know at this point. And we may be in a situation, and I think we are, where we're going to have to bring in another running back, okay? So when I look at the running backs out there in free agency, there's 1 or 2 guys I think may be a good fit for us. I think the most likely scenario for the Eagles and the running back situation is probably I see them probably signing 2 rookie undrafted free agents, and they bring them in. Deuce Staley has done a great job with undrafted rookie free agent running backs, okay? So I could see them bringing a couple guys in and working with them, maybe a big physical guy who can do short yardage and stuff like that. I think that's probably the most likely. Maybe we draft somebody at the end, at the end of the draft. But, if you want to get a veteran in, if you want to get someone who can come in right away, there's one guy I'm thinking of, okay, that I think would be a good fit for the Eagles. This is just my opinion. And that's Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde, I think he's 28, 29 years old, like 6 foot, 225, 230 pounds. Big back, he could get short yardage, got a little pop in his game, a little bit of speed. And I think he would be the perfect complement for Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. I definitely think he would, okay? So I would try to bring him in. I don't think he would be that much money. Maybe bring him in for a year, something like that. I think he would be the perfect fit, okay? As far as Shady goes, I would consider Shady if it was a situation where he was like the third back and maybe he gets like 5 to 10 touches. He's not going to get that many. But I'm going to let him mentor Miles Sanders, because Miles Sanders is my franchise running back, okay? No question about it in my mind. So he's my franchise running back. And Shady was in Philly as a franchise running back. He knows the ins and outs of playing in that city as a franchise running back. He learned from Brian Westbrook. So why not have him pass that knowledge on to Miles Sanders? I would be okay with that. However, like I said, Shady doesn't really fit what we need. But if you want to keep 4 running backs, so be it. I would do that just to have somebody mentor Miles Sanders. I think Shady could do a good job with that. I like Shady. It's he's a former Eagle. It would be cool to see him back, like Deshaun is back. But what's best for the team? Speaking of what's best for the team, I have a whole video. I'm talking about Zach Ertz and free agency and his contract, and I'll get into all that stuff a little later in this video and more in another video. But I think, we got to get younger. We got to try to bring in guys who aren't so old. So, yeah, I would probably stay clear of Shady, although I won't be upset if he comes back. I'm not going to lie. But I think Carlos Hyde would be a perfect addition for the Eagles. And I don't think he would cost that much money. I don't know if he's drawing interest at this point from other teams. Frank Gore is another guy that may be out there. Now, he's old. He's like 37. But the guy still could play. And if he can play and take a reduced role where he's not getting so many reps, he may even like that. Somebody like that. Garrett Blount would be perfect, but I don't know if he retired. I don't know what his story is. He's missed. I don't think he played at all last year. So he would be another guy. But, somebody like that is what we need. I think the most likely route is probably going to be, an undrafted free agent running back or late in the draft. But I think a guy like Carlos Hyde would be a perfect addition. If you had Hyde, Sanders, and Ball Scott just rotating them in for certain situations, man, I think the Eagles would be pretty tough. I think that would be a pretty tough group. And then, we'll see what happens with Shady. But I do find it interesting that Shady and Deshaun are going back. And we'll see if the Eagles want to bring him back. I mean, when he retires and he hangs it up, he definitely comes back no matter what. No question about it. But as far as him coming back to play, it would have to be in a very limited role, salary minimum. And I would really want him to be more of a mentor than anything else. And maybe you don't even need that because you still have Darren Sproles on your staff now. So maybe you don't even need him for that. But as far as a fit goes, Shady fitting in, I think you need a little bigger of a back. But who knows? The Eagles, it's quite possible. It would not surprise me at all if they bring Shady McCoy in. But if I had a choice out there right now, I'm thinking Carlos Hyde would be the perfect fit for the Eagles. Now, I did talk about Zach Ertz a little bit at the beginning of this video. Want to kind of go over what happened with him today. The Eagles picked up his contract, okay? So they picked up his contract. He's guaranteed to get like $8 million this year, $8.6 million next year, and everybody's saying that this means the Eagles are going to give him a long-term extension. Now, I have a whole video I did on this and dedicated to this earlier before I did my live stream. Thank you, everybody who was at the live stream, by the way. Shout out to you guys. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that button, little ding dong button thing up there. So the next live stream you won't miss. So be sure to subscribe. But you know, I'm gonna put out that video later. But basically, Zach Ertz wants a long-term contract. We know he didn't accept the one that was offered to him. He wants even more money. And the only thing I'll say about it in this video is the Eagles picked up his contract, so he's there for 2 more years. They were going to do that no matter whether they're going to trade him, let his contract run its course, or sign him to extension. So it's not really a big deal. But I would say this: the Eagles should be careful about signing him long-term, where they're stuck 3, 4, 5 years down the road, okay? So I hope that whatever contract extension they're going to give him, it's something that after 2 or 3 years they could get out of. And they have to take care of Dallas Goedert. You cannot lose Dallas Goedert in this. And sometimes, and I'll talk more about this in detail in my other video. Sometimes you don't know how another player is going to react. He may want to go somewhere else and be the number 1 tight end. So it's risky. You're taking a chance, and I hope the Eagles have it all solved out. All figured out. All figured out. You know what I mean? You mean? So, anyways, we'll see what happens. But Shady wants to come back. It looks like Ertz ain't going nowhere. I would like to see Carlos Hyde come in as a running back to go into that rotation for at least a year. We'll see what happens. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. We'll see. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And hit that little dingbat bell, King dingbat bell. Hit it. Make sure you hit it so you don't miss a stream when I go live. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.